Good morning. And today we're focusing on preparing for employment. I want to start with a quote by Booker T. Washington. Success is to be measured not so much by the position that one has reached in life as by the obstacles which he has overcome while trying to succeed. Don't believe that people who are successful got there without trials. They did not. Trials are and challenges and situations that really bring you to your knees are those situations that lead you to your purpose. Trust the process. As you prepare for your job searching, for example, you have found an advertisement for a position that fits with your skills and your experience, and it's where your heart is. That's what you want to do. As you prepare, use the job description to guide you. Many employers now add a job description to that vacant position they're advertising. And you want to make sure that you are using that job description to guide your process as you prepare to apply for that position. Tailor your resume to fit that position. Many individuals just use one resume at all times. No, that doesn't work. That master resume that you have, that lists every job you've had, that is just for your eyes only. Each resume must be created or adjusted to fit the specific position you are applying for. Make that resume short and easy to read. We have often been told that a one-pager is better than 3, 4, 5 pages. And some people do have some long resumes. But if you tailor the resume to fit the specific job, I can assure you, you will not have 3, 4, 5 pages. Try to keep it to 1. And if you're not able to get all of that is necessary based on the job description to 1 page, 2 is acceptable, but 1 is better. Remember that your resume tells a story about you. And when the recruiter looks at that resume, the 30 seconds or the 10 seconds or the 15 seconds that they spend glancing through that resume, what they're seeing should give them that desire to get to know the person who is being represented by this bit of paper. And I want you to take your time, just take your time while you're doing the resume. There's no need to rush it. Take your time. The resume should have your contact information at the top. And there are no hard and fast rules about how the resume should look, the presentation of that resume. That is your preference. The important thing is that the information is clear. The font sizes are consistent. The grammar is correct. And I let that sink in for a moment. But the contact information should be your name, big and bold. Nobody can mistake whose resume this is. Your email address and your telephone number. Your address is not necessary. Gone are the days when telegrams were sent to people's addresses and letters were sent out to you, inviting you to a job interview. Now it's just your name, email address, and telephone number. Your professional summary that speaks to who you are. A very short and interesting introduction of who you are. As you prepare that professional summary based on the job description again and the position you're applying for, remember, this is how you will answer that interview question, tell me about yourself. Which means that this needs some care as you put it together. Your skills as required by the job description. If you notice that I place emphasis on that job description that the employer has displayed, because the employer is saying to you, these are the things we're looking for. These are the skills. These are the experiences that we're looking for. Sending a resume based on your own thinking and thoughts, and you're saying to yourself, this is what they should require, that will not help you. You want to be guided by that job description, okay? So I encourage you, before you start preparing the resume, take a good assessment of that job description. Highlight all the skills and experiences that are required for this position and circle those that you have. It makes it easy to prepare your resume. After you input your skills, and you could create a little table and remove the table afterwards. And if you, okay, your activities that is in the body of your resume must match those skills that you say you have. So let us say you identified 15 skills that the employer is asking for, and you have 12 of those skills. Then the 12 skills that you have will guide the rest of your resume, because you will be showing in that resume how you have used those skills. I hope that makes sense to you. Because then you will see that it's easy, very easy to create a resume. Now, your education, if they're asking for a high school certificate or a high school diploma, and you have that, or you have your GED if you're in the United States, or any other equivalent, high school equivalent, and that is all they're asking for, then that is what you put on their education. If the job requires a first degree and you have a master's degree, don't list the master's degree. The job is asking for a bachelor's degree. You don't need to put the master's. And any awards and recognitions that you've received, you want to have a little section for that. So here are the sections I've outlined that you need for your resume. 6. However, 5, the first 5 are the most important ones. But if you have awards and recognitions, then use them, include them, sorry. Okay, so the resume source that will help you to create a successful resume is using ownitonline.org or .org. Ownit was created by the US Department of Labor, and they created this site for employers and job seekers. Therefore, the wording is what is expected of you as you prepare your resume. You will notice that I have listed some job numbers and job titles on this slide. I took these from Ownit. So if someone, for example, is looking for an electrician position, you will notice that Ownit breaks it down into different areas of that particular career. So you want to be precise with what you have done, which will help you to input those activities, those work activities that you've done in the past. And on my next slide here, I am showing you that when you input electrician in Ownit, then you have, I want you to look at the tabs here. You see summary, details, custom, etc. Now, when you open your file, the first thing you're going to see is summary. It's going to be on summary. Put it on details so you get much more information. All right. And then here they have listed the work activities and they have placed them in categories to help you to determine what, based on the job description again, what it is that is expected from that you need to input into your resume. So this will guide you. And here I've used detailed work activities, breaking it down, making it even simpler. So you look at these slides and they will help you as you search on Ownit online. I hope those tips are helping. Now, too often, individuals who are using Ownit online just write exactly what is there. Remember, if this is a job you've done before, it cannot be in the present tense. You've got to put it in the past tense. So the correct tense must be used throughout your work activities in your resume. Remember to use ownitonline.org to guide that resume process. A resume that uses bullet points is easy to read. It is easy for the recruiter to see what you've done. Avoid writing sentences. You're not writing an essay. Don't overthink the process. Just keep making these bullet points as simple and clear as possible. Be consistent with your font types and size. The headings, your subheadings, and your name must be bold. And those font sizes could be the same font size. However, everything else on your page should maintain the same font size and style. Don't change your style. Use one font style, right? Calibri or Arial are usually the two common ones that are used for resume, right? And then, our transferable skills. There are times when individuals may look at a resume and say, a job description, and say, I'm not qualified for this job, because you're not thinking of your transferable skills. Those are important. If you worked as an electrician and now you're moving into the field of healthcare, you may say to yourself, but this does not make sense. I can't do that. Of course you can. In your job as an electrician, you had to speak to people. in the job, in healthcare, you will again need to be talking to people, right? So communication, oral and written. And usually the employer wants to know that you don't just speak well, but you write well. So when you put communication, if you do both well, then they need to be there. Collaboration, whatever, wherever you have worked, most likely you collaborated with your team. You had to work with others. Collaboration is a transferable skill. Problem solving. Were you a problem solver in your last job? Then problem solving is a skill. It is transferable. So when you see that on the job description, yes, you want to think about those problems that you've solved. You want to think about those collaborations that you've done. You want to think about the communication, the presentations that you've done. Think about those. Are you service-oriented? Do you work well with others? Are you good to your customers? There you go. That's another transferable skill. Are you organized? Do you structure your day? If you are, that's also a transferable skill. Today, I trust that you have learned something from our little time together. Remember, creating your resumes, and your resume could either be in chronological form or functional. For chronological resumes, you want to list, those are for individuals who have remained in the same industry. You have not changed your industry at all. It has been the same. For example, if you were a nursing assistant and you then moved on to registered nursing, then you moved on to nurse practitioner, you have remained in the same industry. But therefore, a chronological resume would work best for you. However, you need a functional resume if you have changed your career or you have gaps in your career path. And that is how it works for resumes. Two types, chronological or functional. And you determine which works best for you. Have you remained in that industry or have you changed your career? Do you have gaps? If you have gaps or you've changed your career, it's functional. If you have remained in the same company or the same industry, then you need a chronological resume will work well for you. And remember to use ownit.org to guide you. What we did today came from chapter 5 of the Release to Shine Career Guide. You may get your copy and I will leave the link below. And here, the career guide is an excellent guide for those individuals who are not able to navigate that job search process well. You may have been out of the world of work for a long time and you need help. This book will help you. Today brings us to the end of season 1. Next week, we will begin with season 2, and our focus will be social justice with emphasis on community and crime. As I end, I just want you to remember that you must believe in yourself. You were released from that job. that prison, that correctional facility to shine. Thank you. Blessings.